Hello, welcome to the Crates Motel. My name's Conan, I'm the concierge. Today we're looking at tape 16, but not how it's supposed to be used. Let's jump in. So we'll jump straight into tape 16. It's basically a standalone 16-track tape recorder in your computer. It has lots of limitations. Everyone's going on about the fact it doesn't have an undo. You can't edit it. There's no audio which you can chop and change around. You can only add a couple of plugins. It's basically a very, very limited DAW stroke tape machine type plugin type thingy. It's sort of still in beta at the moment, but you can buy it for $30 and it's being improved virtually on a daily basis. I really like it, but not for the reason that you might think. I don't use it as a 16-track tape machine at all. I have a template set up for that. If you watch my videos, you'll know that I record from my MPC through various little bits of outboard to add a little bit of character as it goes into my DAW. Or another way that I'll do things is I'll record samples into my MPC going through these same little bits of character, be it my Personas ACP88 or my Strymon Deco V2 or my Vestax cassette machine. So I add that little bit of character going in. Nothing crazy, just a little bit of character. And that's what I actually use tape 16 for. Now, if you want to watch videos about how to use it as a 16-track tape recorder and all the limitations and all the things you can and can't do with it, then there's loads of other videos out there. Petrol Media, for instance, my friend Terence, he's made quite a few videos about it in the MPC community, so it's worth checking out his videos if you want to see it used as a 16-track tape recorder. But if you want to see it used as a sort of posh way of adding character, and a very nice way of adding character, in my opinion, to your samples as you're recording them into your MPC, then watch this video. So tape 16, okay, the way that I use it, I'm not going to go into all the other functions. Very, very simple. I have the files already on my PC. Or it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. I mean, you can just drag and drop things in, but I have loads of beats and samples, etc. already on my PC. And we're going to open this. And you can import as a stereo pair, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to put it in on track 1. You can also put it on 1 of 16. Give yourself a little bit of space because there is actually a bit of pickup on the tape machines. Very realistic. So I'll give myself a second there. So now when I press play, there we go. And you have to record, you have to rewind. Quick little tip, if you're really far into the song, if you hold shift and rewind or forward, it does it much, much quicker, like 10 times the speed. It actually says up here, hold shift to activate 10 times. Let's just close these preferences down. So I'll load my file into tape 16 and with the intention of then playing it into my MPC. So think of this as doing stuff to a particular file before I record it into my MPC. So I've got the drum beat in here, and what you can do, and you're very limited here, you have mix effects and you have print effects. Now, print effects I'm not going to be using here. If you want to watch videos on that, there's loads, like I said. But what I'm going to do here is, what I can do is I can add maybe a preamp, I can maybe add a little bit of compression, I can maybe add a little bit of EQ, depending entirely on what I want to do. But basically, you are quite limited, so you do have to think. But I like that because remember, I'm not doing like a full mix down here. All I'm really doing is just adding a little bit of extra flavor. And of course, also what you can do is you can add some flavor from here. And this is what I actually quite like. I like the simplicity of it in terms of the fact that I can load a file in and then just add a little bit of character. So I'm going to let this play and I'm going to add a little bit of character from here first. And then I'm maybe going to just add maybe some effects down here. Now the saturation tends to bring out kind of your high mids. So it doesn't really do an awful lot for the low end, I've got to be honest, but I do actually quite like it. It just kind of makes everything sound a little bit grittier and just kind of brings out a bit of clarity in the high mids. So you can hear that basically I've just added a little bit of flavour, just a little bit of flavour. So what else I'll do here is let's chuck on Valve compressor. So I've got my 303 preset on here because basically that's all I use Valve compressor for, to make it sound a little bit like a 303 vinyl synth. So now another thing I like about this is you can really drive it. Just keeping an eye on my levels up there. And actually, even without effects, just driving it a little bit just kind of seems to give it this nice little bit of warmth, a little bit of tape saturation. Look, you know, it's zeros and ones. It's not proper tape saturation, but it's nice. It's subtle. And that's what I'm using this for. So like I said, you know, another thing, I've got the compressor there, so I could put it at the end of the chain there, or maybe I'd have a preamp here, like maybe use a nice universal Neve preamp, maybe a bit of EQ, or I could just maybe use universal audio SSL channel strip. So I've got everything there, and it'd be almost as if I'm recording through, or as close as you can get on a computer, through an SSL channel strip. So, you know, like I said, you are limited, which is what I kind of like here. Now, another thing which I really, really like is, and which is what appealed to me, is I've made a video about this, is one of the things that I do, and it's an old school technique, is when you play a 33, you'll speed it up to 45 and then slow it down in your sampler, and it adds a bit of character. Now, the reason why we used to do that is because we had limited space on our MPC 60s or SP1200s, etc. SP1200s, you had like 2.5 seconds maximum sample time and 10 seconds in total, something like that, if I remember correctly. So you used to speed things up to 45 or even 78 if you had a turntable that played at 78, and then you would slow it down. And that's where that whole character comes from that we all know in boom bap in the 90s, that slowed down character. So what's really good about Tape 16 is it gives me a very, very quick way of doing that, because if I had files, well, not from Splice because I don't use Splice, but let's say that you use Splice, you're not going to be able to play those through a turntable, so you're not going to be able to speed those up to 45. This is a very, very quick and easy way of being able to do that, because up here I've got tape speeds. Okay, so these are in IPS, 7.5 inches per second, 15 inches per second, 30. Now, they come as a default on 15. But if I speed this up to 30 and whack the vary speed up, I'm going to be getting close to, I don't know if it is close to 45, I'm not exactly sure, but it speeds it up. And it speeds it up to a point where if you then sample it into your MPC at this speed and slow it down, you get that extra character that you get from speeding up a track off your deck. Now, I know a lot of people don't have decks, and a lot of people, like I said, might use things like Splice or TrackLib, or they'll take stuff off YouTube, etc. With this, you've basically got a $30 way of very quickly speeding your samples up, adding some character, etc. Now, that is obviously way over 45. So let's just take that down a little bit. I think if I double click on this, yeah, a lot of these, if you double click on them, it returns them back to their normal default level. Yeah, that sounds as though it's probably closer to about 78. So being able to play very, very quickly, you've got your normal track. See, that alone, for me, because of the way that I sample things into my MPC, which is a lot of the time files off my computer, I use Virtual DJ, or I'll load it into Contact and then speed it up by 5.37 semitones. There's a lot of faffing about, to be honest. And for me, it's all about speedier workflow. So that sums it up, really. I mean, you know, I just really wanted to show you a quick video on how I use Tape 16, because I don't use it the way that it's supposed to be used. I really kind of just use it as a posh file playing system. And you know, a lot of the time when I'm just using, you know, just a normal file player sampling into my MPC, I can't add VST 3 effects. I can't add saturation and little wow and flutter effects. I can't speed it up in an easy, quick way. And Tape 16 enables me to do that. So for me, although it isn't actually what Tape 16 is supposed to be used for $30 is actually an absolute steal. It's a really, really good thing that I've added to my workflow. You know, I'm all about making things refined and quick in my workflow. This for me is just, I don't want to say game changer, because it's not a game changer, but it's a game speeder-upper, if that's even a thing. And it's definitely going to become part of my workflow. And what's really good about it as well, like I said, I think I said this in the video, the guy that's working on it, the guy that makes the plugin, he's updating it virtually every day, adding things, changing things, listening to people, you know, improving things. And so I think that this could probably go further and further and further. And, you know, maybe at some point I might end up using it as an actual 16-track tape machine. But for now, it's a posh file player. And for $30 and all the things that I can do with it and the way that I can manipulate it, for me, it's a definite buy. So thanks for watching. This is The Crates Motel. My name's Conan. I'm the concierge. Till next time.
Concierge.